I always thought the dark web was nothing more than a collection of urban legends, a place where people whispered about things that couldn't possibly be real. Hitmen for hire, cursed videos, human experiments. I wasn't the type to believe in all that. But when I finally worked up the nerve to explore it myself, I learned the hard way that some legends are very, very real. It started out as curiosity. I had been browsing forums on the surface web when I came across a discussion about hidden marketplaces on the dark web. People claimed you could buy anything: drugs, weapons, even experiences. That last part stuck with me. What the hell did that even mean? After some digging and a lot of trial and error, I found a marketplace selling what it called custom experiences. The listings were vague, with descriptions like "a night you won't forget" or "a personalized thrill delivered to your doorstep." One in particular caught my eye. The package, a one-of-a-kind experience just for you. All we need is your address. I don't know what made me do it. Maybe it was the thrill of the unknown, or maybe I just didn't take it seriously. Either way, I paid in Bitcoin and filled in my address. The site promised delivery in 3 to 5 days. I expected it to be a joke, maybe a creepy doll or a fake severed hand, just something weird and unsettling. But 5 days later, a small plain box arrived at my door. No return address, no markings of any kind, just my name. I took it inside, sat at my kitchen table, and opened it. Inside, there was nothing but a single Polaroid photo, a picture of me, taken the night before. I felt the blood drain from my face. The angle was from outside my living room window. I was sitting on my couch watching TV. My blinds had been half open. I hadn't thought anything of it. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Hope you liked the preview. The real experience starts now." I dropped my phone. My entire body felt cold. I ran to my front door and double-checked the locks. Every window, every entrance. I checked them all. But it was too late. Someone had already been here, watching me. Then another buzz, another message. "Check your closet." I didn't. I grabbed my keys, ran out of my apartment, and never went back. I left almost everything behind. My lease, my belongings. None of it mattered anymore. I moved across the country and never told anyone my new address. But a few weeks later, something terrifying happened. My new apartment had a package waiting at the front desk. No return address, no tracking number, just my name. My hands trembled as I picked it up. I didn't open it. I couldn't. Instead, I took it to an empty lot and burned it, watching the flames consume whatever was inside. But sometimes, late at night, I hear noises outside my window. A soft knock, a shuffling in the dark. I tell myself it's just my imagination, that I'm safe now. But deep down, I know the truth. They never stopped watching. Would you have checked the closet? Or would you have run like I did? A friend once told me about something called a red room. Supposedly, they were live streams where people paid to watch something horrible happen to someone in real time. I didn't believe it. I figured it was just one of those internet myths meant to scare people away from the dark web. Then I found the countdown. It was late, and I was 3 hours deep into clicking through disturbing dark web links. Most of them led nowhere, just empty pages or scam sites. But then I clicked on one that loaded a black screen with a simple message. Live event starts in 02-4736. Underneath, a chat box was already active. Users were typing in different currencies, placing bets. The messages ranged from excited to absolutely depraved. I want to see them beg. Is it true they use real people? I hope this one lasts longer than the last. I stared at the screen, my stomach twisting. This had to be fake. Just some elaborate scare tactic. But then another message popped up, one that sent ice through my veins. New viewer detected. Welcome, my IP address. I slammed my laptop shut so hard I thought I cracked the screen. I unplugged my router, turned off my phone, and sat there in the dark, heart pounding. They had my IP. Did that mean they knew where I lived? For the next few nights, I barely slept. Every noise outside made me jump. I even started noticing a black van parked down the street, different spots each night. Coincidence? Maybe. But I wasn't going to wait around to find out. Then my laptop turned on by itself. At first, I thought it was a glitch, but the screen flickered to life and that same black web page was open, the countdown now at 0005:12. My webcam light blinked on. A new message appeared. You're part of the show now. My entire body locked up. I grabbed my laptop, ripped the battery out, and threw it across the room. I needed to leave. Now I packed a bag with just the essentials and got the hell out of my apartment, checking over my shoulder the entire way. I drove for hours, not sure where I was going, only knowing I had to be as far away as possible. Then my phone buzzed. A text message. No number, no contact name. Running won't help. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the phone. How? How were they still tracking me? I had ditched my laptop, turned off my Wi-Fi, and was in the middle of nowhere. I pulled into a gas station, heart pounding, and stepped outside to catch my breath. That's when I saw it. A black van. Pulled off to the side of the road, its headlights off. But I could see the silhouette of someone inside, watching. I didn't go back to my car. I went straight inside the gas station, straight to the clerk behind the counter. Hey man, you okay? He asked, looking at my pale face. Someone's following me, I said. Can I stay here for a bit? The guy nodded and let me stand behind the counter with him. I watched the van, my heart hammering. Minutes passed, then an hour. Finally, the van pulled away, disappearing into the night. I never went back to my apartment. I left town the next day, ditched my phone, and started fresh somewhere new. I don't touch the dark web anymore. I don't even talk about it. But sometimes, I wonder what would have happened if I had let that countdown reach 0. What do you think I would have seen? Would you have stayed to find out? I always thought the dark web was just a place for illegal downloads and weird forums. But then I found a site called The Silent Auction. It looked like an old-school marketplace, except instead of antiques or rare items, the listings were people. Each had a photo, a description, and an auction timer. Some looked terrified, others drugged or unconscious. I wanted to believe it was fake, some twisted ARG or an elaborate hoax. But then, as I scrolled, I saw a listing that made my blood turn to ice. It was me, my photo, taken from my own social media, but altered. My eyes were blank, lifeless. The caption read, Lot number 204, young, healthy, unmarked. Bidding starts at $10,000. I froze. My heart pounded in my chest. This had to be a joke, right? Some sick prank? But then my phone vibrated. Unknown number. Congratulations. You've been selected for the final round. Stay where you are. Panic set in. My hands trembled as I checked my locks, every door, every window. My paranoia spiked. What did they mean, final round? I ran to my car, but before I could start it, my phone buzzed again. Don't leave, that'll only make it worse. I didn't care. I floored it, speeding toward the nearest police station. But as I pulled into the lot, my phone rang again. A blocked number. Against my better judgment, I answered. A deep, robotic voice said, "Auction closed. Winner selected." Then silence. The call ended. I sprinted inside, breathless, trying to explain everything. The officers looked at me like I was crazy, but one agreed to check my license plate. When he returned, he looked pale. "Sir," he said, "your car is registered as stolen, under a name that isn't yours." I stared at him, stunned. "What? No, I own that car. Check again." But then I thought back to the website, the listing. Lot number 204. They hadn't just put me up for auction, they had erased me. I pulled out my wallet, hands shaking, and handed over my ID. The officer took it, examined it, then frowned. He typed something into his computer, then looked at me again, a mixture of confusion and concern on his face. "This ID, it doesn't exist in our system. There's no record of you anywhere. No driver's license, no address, nothing." I felt lightheaded. "That's impossible," I muttered. I live here. I have a job, an apartment." But as the words left my mouth, a terrible realization hit me. What if those things didn't exist anymore either? My stomach dropped. I pulled out my phone and tried to log into my bank app. Incorrect credentials. I tried my email. Account not found. My social media, gone. No trace of me anywhere. The officer was still watching me, probably wondering if I had lost my mind. Hell, I was wondering the same thing. "Sir," he said, softer now. "Why don't you take a seat? Maybe we can sort this out." I nodded numbly and sat down. My whole body was shaking. This couldn't be real. I existed. I had a life. People knew me. Someone had to know me. I pulled out my phone and dialed my best friend's number. It rang, and rang, and rang. Then finally, "The number you have dialed is not in service." I tried another friend, then my boss, then my parents. Every single call returned the same robotic response. I wasn't just erased from the internet, I was erased from reality. The officer was speaking again, but his voice sounded distant. My vision blurred. I felt like I was drowning. Then, before I could process any of it, another officer walked in from the back. He leaned down and whispered something to the first cop, his eyes never leaving mine. I saw his hand twitch toward his belt. "Sir," he said carefully, "we need you to come with us." My instincts screamed at me to run. I didn't know where, but I knew I couldn't stay there. The moment they took me somewhere alone, I was done. Whoever had won me would claim their prize. I bolted. I heard shouts behind me, but I didn't stop. I ran out the door, past the parking lot, and straight into the night. I didn't look back. I didn't go home. I just ran. That was 6 months ago. Since then, I've been moving from place to place, never staying anywhere too long. I don't use my real name. I don't go online. But sometimes, when I check public computers at libraries or internet cafes, I find traces of the silent auction, new listings, new faces. And every once in a while, I see something even worse. A lot with no picture. Just a black screen with white text, reclaimed property, awaiting resale. I know it means they found someone who tried to escape. And I know one day, that might be me. Would you check if you were up for auction? Or would you rather not know?